Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Chanel in the City. I have an amazing special guest here today. She's an icon, she's a legend. She's the OG and all-star of one of my favorite Housewives franchise, New York. She's a cabaret star, a philanthropist. I can go on and on and on about this incredible human being right here.
Oh, thank you, Chanel.
She's a countess.
Yeah.
But she's more than that.
Once a countess, always a countess.
Once a countess, always a countess.
Right? I mean, 17 years of my life. Right? I have 2 kids. I deserve the title. Leave me alone.
And she's a mother, and she's cool, and she's amazing. Luann De Lesseps, thank you so much for being here. You're a real one.
Thank you.
You are a real one.
They call it the Real Housewives. Some of them are real and some of them are not.
Exactly. We're going to get into so much.
That's why, the OGs are around since the beginning. Right?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you have been an OG since the beginning. Mm-hmm. Reality TV, we all know. I mean, I've been 15 minutes through it. It's not easy to maintain. It's not, everyone thinks, oh my God, I'm going to be a housewife. I'm going to be famous overnight. Guess what? You're not going to be Luann De Lessepes.
Well,
overnight.
With the fame comes a price. It's not easy being a housewife, as the housewives know out there. I mean, It's not easy to be a housewife, period. Right? But imagine doing it on television. Imagine you have a lot of bitchy girlfriends.
Yeah, that's really hard.
It's not easy. It's a big job. And as much as there is cocktail parties and dinner parties and fabulous trips and et cetera, there's a lot of work involved because you're dealing with a lot of different personalities, and managing them. And believe me, it's a big job.
Yeah, we've seen you every single season you bring it. I mean, and every single season you bring it in a cool, classy way.
Well, I don't know. I've had my downfalls, that's for sure. And, but I try and keep it classy. What can I say?
Right.
I feel like as a woman my age on television that, young people look at the show. I have girls that come to my cabaret show that tell me, I've been watching you since I'm 10. And when Noelle was taking breakdancing, And so, it's so cute. And they always say, they're always like, oh my God, you've been such a role model to me. And that's such a compliment because God knows I'm not perfect and never will be. But to have women, relate to me because I am an open kind of book. And, I struggle like everybody else with life.
Right.
And that's just it. So.
And talking about like the obstacles you faced last season and this season, how did you keep your composure and your mental state, and you still went on and you still hustled, and you a lot of people can let that bring them down.
Yeah.
And you're really showing us an example of.
Well, listen, I mean, after what happened to me in Florida, I got on stage and did a cabaret show, which was really not what I wanted to do. It's what I wanted to do, but it scared the hell out of me. So, not only did I do a cabaret show, but I filmed it on a television show, right? So no pressure.
Double, right?
So it was, it wasn't easy, but I feel like if I hadn't done it, that I'm more scared of not doing it than doing it. That's how I roll.
I love that, me too.
You know what I mean? I try to face my fears in life because I feel if you don't attack your fears, you're always going to be fearful of them.
Yeah.
So I get them straight on, and you have regrets. I'm not somebody who likes to live with regret. I don't think anybody does, but I think that you can always try, and if not, you can always go home. And that's how I've lived my life. I mean, that's how I got to Europe. That's how I met, the Count.
Right.
I went to Europe on a shoestring, and and I ended up marrying one of the biggest French aristocrats in history. And I think in life you got to take chances, you got to be fearless, and you got to keep on standing up.
That's amazing. And how do you overcome it also with these obstacles on top of these different personalities? Like, for example, recently when Bethenny had her meltdown.
Yeah.
I call it meltdown because of what
breakdown,
meltdown.
Yeah.
And we've all been there. But I thought it was so admirable how you reacted to her, especially after what you went through. It seemed like you really took steps on evolving in general as a human and just working on yourself. And the fact that reaction, I feel like we all need to learn it, but it's easier said than done. So what was going on through your mind, and how did you feel also that one of your really closest friends and cast members?
Right. Oh, I felt horrible. I mean, it was horrible for her to unload all of her dirty laundry,
Right.
I felt like the crime didn't fit the punishment didn't fit the crime.
Right.
I think she really had all of these issues bottled up with me that she never spoke about, and they all came rising to the top along with her, issues with the loss of Dennis, and
Right.
I mean, I think there was a lot more in there, and not just about me. And I realized that. I mean, Ramona was crying.
Right. Which we never usually
Dorinda
see.
was gasping. I mean, she didn't even know what to do, because it was just so over the top and not really at the end of the day all about me. So I tried not to take it personally. I was hurt, especially that she would choose a restaurant with all these people around and
To do it.
way to do that, and not just speak to me first, etc. But she just blew a gasket, and that was it. And you saw it go down, and it was it was tough to watch, because I really felt bad for her.
Right, because you are
More
the
than
person.
me.
Yeah, you feel
More
bad.
than me, I felt bad for her. I was like, holy, there's a lot going on in there.
Do you feel like that's what she wanted? That she just wanted you to be there? Because I think you're the OG, and you both started the season together.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she.
Well, she left for a couple
She
years.
left for a couple of
right.
years, and you stayed. But she
Right.
expected more from you. You would think, out of all the girls, and maybe she doesn't want to admit that to you secretly. Do you ever feel that way?
What do you mean?
That she really wants your love, and that's why she lashes out instead of communicating it with you to you in a
Listen,
calm way?
I think if people don't love you in a certain way, they don't bother with you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good
Unless you care.
Yeah.
You don't get that upset.
That's so true. Every time I'm gonna think about that every time.
But it's true.
What's the best advice in that moment?
Keep calm and collected. I mean, when somebody loses it, they need you to be calm and collected, right? It's like,
Right.
okay, take a deep breath. Think about what you just said. Are you sure you don't want to retract anything?
Did you feel the whole jail thing and everything you were going through happened from one incident, or do you just feel like that's life? Like, we all go through things, we all make mistakes. Like, when you were actually filming, that scene, and you were
Coming back. Yes.
Did you feel like this is kind of getting out of control and over dramatized? It's not as bad. Like, let's say, a lot of us drink and we go out or we drive.
Right. You wind up in the wrong hotel room.
Or yes, everybody does that.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Sure. It could happen. It could have happened to anyone.
But it wasn't like just because of the Tom thing or because of the.
I think it was, no, I wouldn't say it was because of that. I would say that, there was a whole bunch of things that I think that I wasn't dealing with. And I was drinking more than I should have, specifically that night. And I just feel like, being in that hotel, and it was just a weird combination. When I got to Palm Beach, I felt weird about it. I was like, why am I here?
Like out of body experience.
I passed all the places that, first of all, I had a reception in the Colony Hotel. I don't even want to mention them because I feel like they really took advantage of me there. I mean, the manager didn't have to call the police, so that's a whole other story.
Oh, true.
Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it, but
there's a guy.
Where was I? I lost my train of thought.
So feeling how you overcame that, like how you
how
you dealt with those feelings, and in that moment, it wasn't a specific thing. It was just that.
I think it was a whole bunch of things that kind of culminated into this disastrous moments in one's life.
Yeah,
that one has. That also is a wake up call.
But also has changed for the better. I want people to learn that. Yeah. Someone like you who took ownership and now you're bettering yourself.
You know what? In the end, I looked at it as an experience that would make me see life in a different way. And I feel like I look at it as almost a positive experience now for me, because it taught me so much about myself.
Yeah, and you inspire me and everyone.
It was pretty drastic, that's for sure.
I cried, but
it was.
Yeah, I mean, because
it was hard. Pretty drastic, but I guess that's what I needed to be stopped in my tracks.
And we all do, and that's why it's something to learn.
And I wasn't doing it, so guess what? He found a way to say, wait a second, and it was pretty tough on me.
Right, you didn't deserve the toughness, but sometimes we have to take these signs, learn it.
Exactly.
Now you're doing bomber jackets for Jovani, and half the proceeds are going to organizations, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we're giving the proceeds in the very beginning are going 100% to helping women who have been previously incarcerated. and empowering them to have, successful, productive lives within their communities. So
that's incredible.
Right? And, listen, over 60% of women are in jail for non-violent crimes.
Right.
And a lot of them, and believe me, I almost had to go to jail.
Right, so you understand the
And,
pain.
and I should have been taken, to rehab or, listen, it was a night that got totally out of control, that if one thing went differently, the whole thing would have never happened. So I'm writing a book about it.
I love that. And by the way, we all have gone through it. It's just not
I
in a
need
public
to tell
forum.
people what happened that night.
Yeah, you need to tell people.
I need to tell people what happened that night, the real story.
Yeah.
And, the other thing is that, I'm still on parole until August. So, I can't really talk about it. So I'm, but I'm writing it. I kept a diary the whole time that I've been working on myself.
That's amazing.
And thank God, it's a place for me to air.
And I heard on one of your cabaret shows, that...
Oh, I do.
Talk about it.
Oh, sure. I have a diary in my cabaret show. I read diary entries from, of course, various parts of my life, and it's part of the show. But those excerpts come from, from
real life experience.
Real life diary entries. So.
That's what's so cool about you. I think that a lot of people miss the fact when you say I want to be a singer, which I love your music. I was just dancing to it on Instagram, the C'est La Vie, and now Jovani's new song, which is incredible.
Feelin Jovani.
Feelin Jovani. Feelin Jovani. Feelin Jovani.
Yeah, Feelin Jovani, and it's out now, right?
It is out on iTunes and, not iTunes actually, it's on YouTube because I did a video. So we released it there first. Next week it'll come out on iTunes when it airs on The Real Housewives, because you'll see me in studio. And of course they have me, in studio with no music playing, so I sound like an idiot, as they love to do.
Well,
they love to do it, Bravo. We love you, Bravo, but Bravo. It's more, it's much more fun to pick on me.
Right. It's right.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited, and also I'm performing the song on Andy Cohen's show next Thursday too.
That's incredible.
For his 10th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Of
That's
Watch
incredible.
What Happens Live. So we're going to celebrate.
Andy loves you.
To have Andy be in the video was just, first of all, I came up with the idea because the fans just, when I get on the stage in a Jovani dress, they're like, Jovani, and I was like, we got to make this into a dance song. And then, I thought Lisa Rinna, because I just wanted to go outside of New York and, diversify. And
Lisa Rinna's great.
Lisa Rinna's a great dancer.
Great dancer. That's
great
perfect.
dancer, and she's gorgeous, and she's a good friend of mine. So I called her and I said, I have a new song. I'm doing a music video. Would you be in it? And she heard the song. She's like, oh yeah, I'm in. And which I love her for that, because she's such a great spirit.
And great supporter. She's a great friend too.
She's a good supportive friend. And then, Cynthia Bailey's a good friend of mine, and I just did the Super Bowl with her, and I thought, I want to have that fabulous thing, because she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I mean, she's a supermodel, right? So I thought it would make, be fat, the three of us. And then I had the afterthought of, wait a second, this is Screaming Charlie's Angels to me.
Yes.
I don't know why. And then
yeah.
I thought, of course, Charlie has to be Andy Cohen.
Yes, that's wise.
And then I had, my comedian for my show, Murray Hill, for my tour, play Bosley.
That is awesome. What's the name of the jewelry line?
It's called the Countess Collection at Super Jeweler.
Okay.
With Super Jeweler. You go to CountessLuann.com.
We can get it at, you get it at Countess Luann. Yeah, I love
everything's
at CountessLuann.com.
Everything's there. The cabaret tickets, my YouTube, you can go to YouTube on that.
And the charity we're going to talk about, the food
And also
ball.
the charity goes directly, through my website, so everybody, that's the best place to find it.
So CountessLuann.com, and we're also, obviously, to follow her at Luann on Instagram.
On Insta, at Countess Luann.
And how do you cope with when people, the negatives, naysayers, when they do say things, how do you zone it out? How do you deal with it?
I don't listen to the naysayers. I only listen to the winners.
I like that. That's amazing. Foodie Ball. One
Foodie
of
Ball.
the biggest charitable events of the year. It's A-list, VIP, for such a great cause, feeding the homeless, supporting the homeless. Talk to us about it. And you're hosting it. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, I host it as often as I can for Henry Buell, who started the ACE partnership, which is They help the homeless to get back on their feet, get them, jobs and housing, etc. They really are full service in terms of helping people who are homeless in New York. So July 10th at the Bowery Hotel is the Foodie Ball. So I hope everyone will come out because there's going to be lots of good food, and I'll be there. And
you need to come out with like a cookbook, or I wish you had a station.
Cooking with the Countess.
Cooking with the Countess. How do you stay so humble? That's another question they want to know.
I am humble, and people, think the way I come across the show is not humble, and that couldn't be further from the truth. But I am humble, and listen, I grew up with 6 brothers and sisters. We shared one bathroom, so we were 7 children. And I'm a nurse, by the way. A lot of people don't know that I'm an LPN. I went to nursing school, so I spent a lot of time helping people, and I spent a lot of time, doing charity work, and I just, the minute you think you're ripe, you begin to rot. That's how I feel. So I'm always learning and always challenging myself, and I think that's what keeps you young and it keeps you driven.
How did you feel about this season, and what can we expect from the reunion and seasons to come?
Oh, well, I never know. Do you think,
right.
I started off...
Like such a crazy question.
The season going, I think I'll get arrested in Palm Beach.
Right. Or I think
or I think,
cabaret
I think I'll, become... Listen,
selling out.
I thought it would get... Right. I become,
selling out.
Selling out shows, but the Chicago theater is epic. I mean, only the biggest, stars show it, and it's just amazing. I'm very humbled by the whole experience. I love what I do, though. I love being on that stage. And, when I get off the stage, I go, oh, bummer, now I gotta get back to life.
Is it different than being on a reality show?
It has nothing to do. I mean, being on stage for me is the joy. I mean, the reality show is work.
Right.
And
it is work, by the way, guys.
It is
it's
work.
Not work. It's work.
I like what I do, but the stage is what I love.
Did you feel like there's some rumors that some of the housewives will return, won't return?
Rumors are rumors. Gossip is gossip.
Anyone that you'd want to? Do you want all them to stay with you? Like, do you feel like you want to mix up if it were up to you?
You know what? It's a good question. Ultimately that always lies with Bravo.
Right. It's not.
I just get a phone call at some point, like, all right, next week.
Right. And you're like,
you ready to go?
Please don't blame me. No, because they can't. So it's not in your control. But I feel like also like Tinsley and you have had.
We have our say, definitely. I mean, there's been times where I said I don't want to see that person ever again. So I have my say in a certain way, and when we feel that strongly, and there's more than 2, then it's like chances are good.
Yeah,
coming back.
Chances are
good. You're coming back.
And then you were talking about on your Instagram, you're working on a secret project. You were talking into the mic like this. Are you doing an audiobook? Can we expect that?
Oh.
A podcast?
A podcast would be great, right? I mean, I would love that.
I think
I feel like a lot
freaking listen to your podcast.
Women could, would, relate to it, and hopefully I can help some people.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Luann, for
being
here.
Thank you, Chanel.